yeah, I've got another book, and it sort of coincides with my sort of mentality for January 2024, which is, same old me, new ideas. They're still awful. Um, one of them being that for some reason I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do finally. I think I'm gonna actually learn how to play Magic, Magic the Gathering. I sort of have some weird, fond, nebulous memories. I shouldn't say fond; they're just more weird and nebulous of sort of like family get-togethers, and my cousins were always playing all these different card games,
Mm-hmm.
and they were older than me by like 4 or 5 years, and like two of them had Magic the Gathering back in the mid '90s, and they were just all arguing and shouting. And I remember like walking into the room where they were playing Magic, and they had these cards on the table with like skulls and like fire spells, and they're like, "Get out of here!" and that happened more than a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And So I think I always somehow buried that memory in the back of my head as like this like hidden club that I needed to be a part of stupidly. um so here we are, 2024, in the year of our Lord, nearly basically 30 years later, and I'm like, you know what, there's something I need to go after. There's some untapped potential. So I've started learning, and I picked up a couple, trainer kits or whatever. And in line with that, I was like, hey, wasn't there a comic? So I decided I was going to read the first couple issues of, well, it's just simply called Magic. Uh, Not even an exclamation point, not even Magic the Gathering. So I read the first 3 issues of Magic. It's
Mm-hmm.
written by Jed McKay, who I believe is currently doing some books for Marvel. I
Yep.
think he did Ghost Rider recently.
Moon Knight.
With okay, yeah, with Guara on art, who I believe did Blue Beetle at the beginning of the New 52. Ariana Consonni on on colors, with Ed Dukeshire on letters. This series launched at Boom in April 2021, ran for 25 issues. They're all on Comixology Unlimited for anyone who's interested. Um, they also did some miniseries and one-shots after the end of that. The series was previously at Dark Horse during the 90s and at IDW for most of the 2010s. Does it offer, sorry, let me try again. Does it offer a lot more mileage for those who are steeped in the lore? Sure. Does it make everyone else feel like they're kind of in over their heads? Yeah, understandable. Look, like right away, the book sets up like a really small, basic foundation, which I think most readers can follow, which is that Magic, the book, and the card game, I guess both, take place in a multiverse, and that's made up of lots and lots of different planes. That's Planes.
Mm-hmm.
Planeswalkers are special individuals capable of traversing between the planes, and they also possess special powers.
Okay.
And it's the sort of conceit that pretty much anyone who's dabbled in science fiction literature or has read a couple big two books here or there should be pretty comfortable with. Of course, Magic has existed since the mid '90s, so anyone who's like, "Oh, Magic is ripping blah 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 off," like it's been around for a while. The book actually has a pretty good eye for stylized action, and Consonni's colors are wonderfully neon and bright. And it follows a trio of planeswalkers who are basically investigating assassination attempts made against themselves. And I can say after reading a couple issues that McKay actually does slowly start meeting out some of the core background details that if you're steeped in the lore, it's probably already well known to any of those people.
Nice.
And for the rest of us, we actually kind of start to pick up some of the pieces and not have it front loaded at the beginning of the book, or have it be like 2 big pages of text at the beginning where it's like, this is all you need to know about 30 years of Magic, here you go, and then we'll drop you into the book. It doesn't do that.
Oh, good.
So yeah, enjoying it. It's nice to know that it actually had a pretty long run. I like the art. And again, for anyone who feels weirdly compelled to take a look at this, it's all on CU. So, there you go.
Nick, as a former Magic addict, should you
Oh,
feel
no.
you're in too deep, I'm here for you. We can
Just gotta
talk
put
about
this
it.
up.
Oh wow, look at that.
This is a thing. I'm just throwing this out to everybody. I'm showing, for those of you who are listening at home, is you can't really see it on Twitch, which I'm sorry, is the Jeff Goldblum.
You can see the important bits.
Yeah, you can see the important bits, which is his rippling chest muscles. Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park as a character, Ian Convalescent Charmer I don't know what any of this means, but it's a thing. So
Power 4, strength 5,
yeah.
power 4, toughness 5.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, cool stuff. Glad you're into magic now, Nick.
Yeah, oh boy,
frickin'
oh
nerd.
boy. Yeah, for those unaware, and it's sort of interesting because again, like I'm very new to any of this, but it certainly seems to have been really divisive in the Magic community. Maybe 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, Magic decided that they were going to basically branch out and start letting in other things, other franchises.
Yeah.
So we've seen Rick and Morty, and again, Nick, this is a crazy weird list. Is there a theme or unifying thing? It's whoever says yes. That seems to be the unifying theme.
Yep.
So
Right.
we've seen Tomb Raider, Jurassic Park,
Lord of the
Doctor
Rings.
Who,
Yeah, Lord of
the Rings.
Junji Ito. They did a whole
Yeah.
Junji Ito run.
I can't wait
Oh,
for
God.
the Lego Lord of the Rings Star Wars cards or
Rick
something.
and
I'm sure they'll do
Morty.
it.
Because basically Magic is
Transformers.
Wizards of the Coast was bought by Hasbro, and Hasbro wants your money.
Yeah.
Right. And so actually thinking about it, Transformers totally makes sense because they own that.
Yeah.
And I think there
That
was one or
its
two
own
other
game,
ones. where it
too.
was
They
like-
did Godzilla, like the Godzilla run.
Yeah.
So-
I will say, Nick, I tried to read this when it came out originally, and like you mentioned,
Yeah.
I felt like I love Jed McKay. Like I've been reading his stuff since Black Cat over at Marvel, and I continue to read it
Mhm.
because Moon Knight started around the same time as this came out. And boy, I felt super lost. Like it was very
Yes.
confusing.
Yes.
I played a little bit of Magic, and I will tell you, if you want to get into Magic, playing Commander is the easiest way because
Totally.
I hate building decks, but I love playing with a pre-made deck. But yeah, that's probably a whole different conversation. But I tried it. The art is fantastic, and all the character designs look very cool because it's Magic. They've hopefully paid plenty of artists to make really cool characters. But yeah, it was. I had to peace out. Anytime they drop one of those one shots, I'm like, should I try it again? But I know I'm gonna be lost in the lore, so
the lore
I
is
think I'm just gonna
intense.
skip.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna skip
listen,
out on these.
Yeah,
No,
it's so weird.
Listen,
People
no,
like
I'm stopping
having-
this. I'm stopping
Good.
this right here before we get way too deep. You. I know that we could go for an hour. Let's save this for the post-episode chat. I want to talk about comic books, guys.